Alright, so I think we're live now. I think. So just let me know when you're ready for the countdown, and I'll do the countdown. Oh. You don't have to. So am I ready to start the countdown? Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me just. Alright. So timer starts when I select play as a cop, and that will start. Hold on. Let me. Yeah. Okay. That starts in 3, 2, 1, and go. So this is the cop career of Need for Speed Rivals. This is this is the more RNG kind of category for this game, or for the side, because this is all about busting racers as a cop.
Which means you have to deal with the race AI, and no, it's not just all about your own driving. If the if the AI messes you up, yep.
Yeah.
Like so. Yep.
We just start with the tutorial. We have to do the training for both cop and racer, which is the longest part of the game, really, because it's scripted and there's not much I can do about it.
It's like the prologue in Carbon, where you can't skip the prologue. You have to do cross tutorial and escape. There's no way around that. Everyone has to do that.
You might hear me mashing the keyboard. That's because I'm playing this game on keyboard. I prefer it. I think in my opinion, the controls are better mapped on the for the keyboard than the controller. But other runners of the game, like Hate Fever, Kuru, they use the controller. But I prefer the layout on the keyboard.
Yep.
But we just start off with a rapid response. This is just to teach us about actually how you play as a cop. So it's showing off the rapid response, and as you see on the middle right of the screen, we have objectives. Those are our speed lists. Those are the main things we need to do each run, or we need to do each speed list. So for the tutorial, we have to do this rapid response. We have to start a pursuit with a racer, bust a racer, and then get 5,000 speed points. Speed points are the currency in the game. We get them by doing different things. You can see under my mirror, you can see I'm gaining speed points by doing things like going fast, and near misses, drifting.
Yep. You also gain NOS from drifting, because so you will see Lonne and NOS a lot. Corners, just get drift a lot through corners to get extra NOS to speed up on straights.
Yeah, unlike the racers, the cops' nitrous tanks do actively regenerate, but you can regenerate it faster by drifting. But for racers, you have to charge it yourself. So to bust him, we just bully him with our car, just hit him a bunch of times.
Yep. Bullied. T omega lul s.
And this is actually getting away. So after we bust him, we turn around, go back the way we came. Because now we have to go back to our command post. That's how we sort of like cash in the fact we completed the speed list. We wall grind this wall here as well so that we can stay facing in the direction we need to go at the end of the speed list, or at the end of this cutscene.
Yeah, because the game wants to turn around your car at the in the cut.
Yeah, the car
if you
like
wall grind.
yeah, the car breaks, and so it like you just don't have control of the car anymore. Because the game doesn't want your car to move in case you do hit something. So we just go back the way we came. Just trying to avoid hitting things as well. One thing I'll also mention is we are playing the game in 60 FPS instead of 30. The game used to be locked to 30, but I don't know if it was through a patch or what, but they added two commands in the Origin Advanced Launch options that allow you to run the game at higher frame rates, but there is a slight catch to them, is that one, they both need to be the exact same number, so you can't have one set to 30 and the other one set to 60, otherwise the game will either run twice as fast or half as fast, which is obviously undesirable.
Sounds like a pretty fun speedrun category.
And it can't be over 60 FPS. If it's like 100 FPS, 120 FPS, whatever, the game will just go faster regardless. But we allowed 60 FPS because it's actually not that... It's not noticeable, the differences. I've done a lot of testing, and I couldn't find any differences between 30 and 60 FPS. But if you play 60 FPS, you have to maintain 60 FPS, otherwise the game becomes really unresponsive. So we've done the cop training, now we have to do the racer training. There was a difference with EMP charging at like 120 FPS, at least I noticed. I noticed at 120 FPS, like EMPs just were instant. But one thing I have noticed definitely is enemy EMPs, they do charge faster in 60 FPS, but your ones don't, not that I've noticed at least. They don't, this doesn't seem to be a difference. But enemy EMPs definitely at least feel like they charge faster. But that's more of a problem for Racer because like when you're doing Racer any percent, because cops love using EMPs. But the Racers, they mainly use shock mines or shock waves, turbo, jammer. They don't really use EMPs as much.
So during this cutscene, Lonne is actually holding W, and that's sort of like the game wants you to stop your car, but by holding W, you sort of like gain additional, during the cutscene, you gain additional acceleration. You roll a bit longer.
Yeah, it's like you're like buffering the input basically.
And you start a bit further ahead.
But unlike the cops, the Racers NOS don't recharge, so we do have to do illegal stuff to gain NOS back, like drifting, oncoming traffic, slipstreams, all that stuff. Or we could just hit the gas station, which is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, there's a gas station on the way here, and you can drive through that, and it fills up your NOS bar.
Yeah, like when you drive through the gas station, it will do three things. It will fill your NOS bar, completely refill your health, and refill your pursuit tech.
Yeah, you will see this gas station, and in general this sort of stretch of track a lot because due to the way speedless work.
Oh god, okay. I'm having problems. The frame rate is shitting itself.
Ooh.
I might need to
go back down to 30.
No. I'm not gonna go back down to 30. PC settings.
All right. Just a very quick quality adjustment.
Yeah, that should be better.
Could it be the screen share?
If it easy drive, that's sort of like you can use it to like put waypoints to things, to like other players, events, nearest insert thing here. Alright, so this is what I mean about having lower FPS does sort of affect the gameplay.
Yeah.
You'll notice.
Yeah, Lonne, I'm gonna switch to the RTMP since I think it's probably your screen share. So
yeah, okay. During the next cut, or during while I'm waiting for the cop car, I'll just cancel the screen share.
yeah.
Because we do have sort of an elaborate setup going on.
Yeah. For lower latency commentary, but
yeah, but it seems to be affecting the game's frame rate.
Yep. So I will switch to the RTMP.
So this is why you should have a constant frame rate, because the game will just have issues. So while that's doing that, I'll... Oh. The game should be back... Okay, the game's back to normal.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems to have taken a toll on my resources more than I thought it would. Because I didn't anticipate that at all. So now we have to do a head-to-head race with that guy. We just drive past him, initiate the head-to-head by mashing the accept key, which for me is just page up. And then we just follow the track here. My screen share isn't still on, is it?
No.
Okay. That's weird.
Are you still having FPS issues?
A little. I might just... I'll just hope it subsides. Like, maybe when I refresh the map, it might be fine. Alright, so we missed the wall grind because we bounced off the walls, so we're now facing the wrong direction. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to turn around. Yeah, I'm gonna hope it subsides when I reload the map.
If not, then you could probably turn down your screen downscale.
Well, no, it's just streaming to 720. It's just at 720p.
Yeah, just
I've
downscale.
never had problems though beforehand. So now that we've finished the training, we can now finally start the game. Obviously, we're gonna play as a cop. And since I'm connected to Origin, we're gonna have to wait a little bit because we have to sign into EA servers, even though we're playing in single player mode.
Quality game development, by the way.
I'll try that if the game's having any more issues, Ewell. But I mean, it should be fine. I've had no issues before.
I just hope it's not a persisting issue because of the screen share. And OBS just keeps from the screen share, in which case you would probably have to
like restart the game.
Yeah. I mean, if that happens, you just I guess restart if it still lags out after.
Okay, so we pick the first speed list. We just choose the one on the left for this one, which is just we have to do not a hot pursuit, a rapid response. We also select the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento because that is the fastest car in the game. We're also gonna change the license plate for a bit of fun. Just change it to some XD.
XD.
Now we have an all drive cutscene. This is basically explaining what all drive is. It's basically just like it's their way of basically saying shared world, kinda. It's like a similar concept to shared world.
Yeah. The all drive menu is basically it's used to like no wait, that's easy drive, isn't it? Easy drive menu is used to restart events and stuff, right?
Yeah. I use
Drive,
Easy Drive's the menu. All Drive is the sort of multiplayer system.
Yeah. Are the FPS users still there or
I don't
no?
know. I'm in the cutscene. Cutscene's always going to be 60 FPS. I'm not actually in gameplay yet.
You mean 30 FPS?
No. Well, the game's running at 60 FPS. The cutscenes are
Oh,
probably at 12.
I see. Oh, I see.
Fun fact: this Need for Speed Network thing is dying. They're actually getting
Yep.
removed. The support is actually being killed off. I think by the
Yep.
end of this month, I believe. Alright, yeah, no, we're still having the problems.
Alright,
Okay, so I'll just restart the game.
Yep. It's probably a residing issue from the Discord screen share. It's unfortunate.
So I'm just gonna restart the game, because it could, yeah, as you said.
This. Yeah. What's your bitrate right now, Lonne?
It's current, just now, it's 2500. That's what it says right now, but it's...
Yeah, but shouldn't have an issue because I streamed at 2500 as well, so...
Well, that's what it's doing just now.
Okay. So yeah, we do apologize for the technical issues. We expected Lonne's machine to easily handle the screen share and streaming setup.
I mean, it works.
And it worked.
It has worked.
Yeah, it worked when we tested it, but now it doesn't. So. Yep.
So if I was doing a proper run, I would have already reset at this point because this is easy like a 2-minute time loss.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a marathon without random technical difficulty.
Yep. But hey ho, happens.
Yep.
Alright, yeah, we're back to 60 FPS. It was probably just a persistent issue.
Yep.
But we take the Sesto Elemento. It's the fastest car in the game. It's DLC car though, which is why we have to be connected to Origin. But it is. We also picked the Enforcer version because the Enforcer version's got more strength and durability. And we need that because obviously we're going to be ramming racers as well. But this is the route anyway. We just do that rapid response, go through the repair shop, and by the time we finish the rapid response, we're pretty much at the a nearby command post, so we could just hit the command post and be done.
Yep.
There's also cars we can hit as well, and they just sort of get in the way. Yeah, so as I anticipated, it was 2 minutes time loss. Because I just have live split running in the side so I can keep a track of what speed list I'm doing.
Alright.
So we select this, the first speed list as well. We get Pursuit Tech. We use the Electrostatic Field, or ESF. It is very strong. We, it's essentially just like a field, an electric field around your car, and if it's meant to be used as a defense against EMPs and shock mines.
Yeah.
But if you contact another racer with it, it will do damage to them, and that's exactly what we're using ESF for. So we're just gonna ram this racer here. We have to bust him so we can get the speed points. As you see, he tried to use a shockwave, but it missed, and he missed his shock mine. So we're just gonna.
He also has to make sure that he gets at least one side slam to complete the speed list.
Yeah, although side slams are pretty generous. I've done a lot of side slams where I just hit them from behind, but obviously it's a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, and it counts.
Yep.
We also have to patrol 2 miles. I actually did this in my latest PB. I actually forgot about the whole 2 miles thing, so I went into the thing without actually noticing and just lost a bunch of time. But we're not going to do that this time, because I remembered.
Yep. So another thing that's like a general speed list is that on a lot of speed lists you just have to bust racers or get tech hits or like basically like side slams, and it turns out that you can just the game doesn't like care if you've already completed an event. You can do all the like objectives on an event you've already completed. And it turns out there's a nice hot pursuit right next to the command post. So this hot pursuit that Lonne is doing right now, prepare to see that a lot of times in a run, because this is a very easy hot pursuit to just get
it's one
all
of,
the
if not
objectives
the
on.
easiest hot pursuits in the game. There is another one that the other runner of the game, Hate Fever, uses, but I personally don't use that in my run. I prefer the one I use, and I can still keep up with times. I'm not like slower or faster. We're pretty equal. In fact, I'm only about a minute behind the world record with my route.
Yep.
And we both use pretty much the same speed list, it's just different event.
Yep.
So now we select this Enforcer event, which is just basically repeat that. But we have to actually complete it this time. We have to get a silver rating, which is bust at least 2 out of these 3 racers. But the fastest way is obviously just bust all of them. So that's what we're going to do.
And again, it doesn't matter what hot pursuit, so we just do this hot pursuit
again.
when
it says any, it genuinely means any, including the same.
Yep, it literally means whatever.
It doesn't check for unique events.
We hope you like this stretch of track a lot, because this is probably like half of the run we spend. Just busting racers and doing all the objectives you need on this particular hot pursuit. There are sometimes you have to do odd events like interceptors and stuff, but this is most of the objectives.
Yeah.
Especially at the start.
Oh, I accidentally locked my EMP onto him, even though I busted him, so we lost that EMP, unfortunately. So we're gonna try and bust this guy with the EMP. He's got low health, so the EMP should make quick work of him. Or not, apparently. Since this is taking longer than than it should really, we won't turn around. We'll go to a different command post, which is it's on the route, so we don't really lose that much time because we don't have to slow down to turn around. But it is still less than optimal.
So the next speed list is gonna be basically every speed list just has like some objectives, and you just have to complete speed list after speed list.
Yeah.
And the next speed list is 2 busts and 5 tech hits. So guess what hot pursuit we're doing?
No, it's bust 3 racers. Which one are you looking at?
Bust 3?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 3 racers actually. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on 5-2.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were on.
What,
all right,
6-3?
Yeah. Yeah. Next, then the speed list after that will be what I just said.
Yes, this one just busts 3 racers, so we just bust these guys. I also upgraded my pursuit tech. When you upgrade pursuit tech, you get more charges and faster recharge rates. And I think for some of them they do more damage. And as you see, we destroyed that guy. He just disappeared.
Yep, he just got.
I've noticed. I think the physics are a little whack when it comes to car ragdolls, quote unquote. I have had a few times where my car just gets pinged into space, which is entertaining to say the least.
ESF damage also depends on how much.
It depends on your car speed.
Yeah, how fast you ram them.
Yeah, because I believe it also does the car ram damage as well.
Yep.
So not only are you doing damage from the ESF, you're also doing ram damage.
Yep. So if you get a good ram and you have an ESF active, you can one-shot cars very easily.
Yeah, especially lower durability cars. Alright, so that took a little. It was again a bit too long. I prefer to try and get it done before the top of the chicanes or the whatever, the hairpins. Yeah, hairpins. And if not, then I go to this command post over here.
Yeah.
Hey, it also helps if you. It also helps to turn off the sirens, because you will automatically challenge racers if you have your sirens on. Physics in NFS games, I know, right?
Yep. Unfortunately, you can't build up objectives like for another speed list. So if that was possible, obviously the run would become very easy. You just farm everything you need and then you just rush your speed list. But unfortunately, that doesn't work like that. So you have to go through speed lists individually.
Yeah.
There's that speed list I was reading off. At some point in the run, the required speed points you need to get, for some speed lists, you need more speed points than the other objectives actually will give you. And I believe there's also one speed list that only has speed points as an objective. In that
there's
case,
one
you
that's
just
like 100k or something.
Yep. In that case, you just keep restarting this hot pursuit and just keep busting racers. Which also leads to the levels of the races, I believe, because some races have like a different level.
Oh yeah,
but I think Lonne can explain that better.
Since we're using the Sesto Elemento, which is a high-speed cop car, it actually does influence and manipulate the actual cars we will encounter. So
unfortunate.
We encounter
the shockwave.
Yeah, so we'll encounter Heat 4 and Heat 5 racers, which give out the most or the biggest payout of speed points, which is 8 and 10,000. If you were to use the cars you're meant to be using, we'd only be encountering like Heat 2, Heat 3 cars, which would mean we'd get less speed points, and it would be just more farming.
Yeah, I believe the broadcast, like the restream, is currently having some internet issues.
Yeah, remember, anything that's going on is not on my side, TK. Everything is fine on my side.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the RTMP server is on the same connection or on a different connection, but... Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do stuff like that, and it just will pretty much instantly take down most cars with that ESF EMP combo. Oh, that is not a tech hit. Yes, it could be, TK. It could be just the picking up the restreaming. Or okay. Why it's an RTMP stream? I can't link you the RTMP stream.
The RTMP stream, which I was watching, also has the same. It's an issue on. Well, it could be an issue with your OBS, but or do you see OBS right now?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no issues like no encoder overload and
No.
nothing?
No.
So... I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, we could link the RTMP stream, except that would probably overload the RTMP server and, you know, probably shut down the connection. So that would not be good.
So we're gonna upgrade ESF again, go back to the hot pursuit. I'll show you what I mean by the side slammings being kind of weird in terms of what counts. Because we have to get 6 side slams here. It also seems if you just sort of rub off them, it also does it as well. So if you're like constantly touching them, it will increment. So like that, we hit him from behind, but it still counts as a side slam, which is a bit weird. And hit him from the front as well. And what actually counts is a bit weird.
Yeah, I believe the RTMP server itself is struggling, so yeah.
I forgot to click record as well on OBS, because of course I did.
Oh, that's fine.
It's okay, I'm behind anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe the RTMP server is struggling, so yeah.
I guess we just turn around. Go back the way we came. Alright, so this one, we actually get to do something different for a change. We get to... Well, we're not... First off, we're not driving the Sesto for this speed list. Instead, we're driving, whatever this is. It's like a car of some sort. And we have to drive 10 miles and reach 160 miles per hour in this big fat Dodge Charger. If you want, you could also say do 16 kilometers if you want to speak it like that. And I don't know how many kilometers per hour. It's like, what, 200, 300 or something? I don't know. So we just go on a nice casual scenic trip around around Redview County.
We could also, it will also be the option of pausing the run currently and reboot the RTMP and just resume where we left off. Also be an option if Lonne is fine with that.
Yeah, whatever. I'm fine with that. If they're okay with that.
Yeah. Alright, so if you guys want to reboot the RTMP server, then just let Lonne know so that he can pause and pause the timer as well.
Yeah, just give me a heads up if when you are.
Yep. Just make sure to let Lonne know so he knows how to pause.
If we're gonna do it, we could do it after the speed list. So when I get back to the command post.
Yeah, I'm currently not watching the RTMP feed, so I can't provide any live commentary. Because I noticed it was free. It was started to freeze when I started watching as well.
So here we can hit 160 miles. That way we don't have to worry about hitting the speed goal. It's very hard to do that. We have to really use the nitrous. The car has really got really low acceleration.
Yeah. If you miss it on the first chance, there's I believe also another
we have the
way
highway.
which you can back it. Yeah, which you can back it up with.
Yeah, if we don't get it in the forest, we've got the highway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just let me know when we're gonna restart, and then after the speed list I'm on, we can restart. That is.
Yeah, the freezing is actually getting kind of bad now, so I would that a restart is definitely needed. Because the stream itself is not dropping any frames at all. It's just the RTMP server, so it's an externally hosted RTMP. That would also be an option.
I don't even know if I have YouTube streaming enabled on my channel.
I can just give you my PM your my stream key. You can stream to my channel.
Could do that.
So if you guys are able to to pull off a YouTube channel, then I can provide Lonne with my YouTube stream key, and Lonne can quickly do that.
We're just gonna leave that.
Yeah. So let me get that ready.
This is just like sort of a chill speed list because nothing's really going on. So when we get to about 9 miles, we can turn around and head back to the command post. It's over here.
Are you using Streamlink to pull off Twitch, Sexrex? Because if you're using Streamlink or Livestreamer, then you can just plug in the YouTube URL. Yeah, or Lonne can stream to Twitch. Because the freezing is obviously getting problematic.
Alright, so what we're gonna do then?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to switch over to streaming to Twitch then?
Yeah. The timer was also paused, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go offline and switch over to Twitch. Okay, I'm live again. Okay, so back to business then. Okay, we'll just start the countdown in 3, 2, 1, and go. So now we just have to go and bust 10 racers in a Enzo Ferrari, which is going to be pretty cool. It's a cool looking car as well. It's like a proper red Ferrari.
Yeah.
I don't remember why we have this car, like the story wise. I don't know why we have this car. We just do. And we have EMP and Shockwave this time instead of ESF, which is what you've seen the racers use on me a few times as well. I forgot I had Shockwave, so I just blew one. Okay.
Yeah. So since he has to bust 10 racers, the easiest way is again with Hot Pursuit. So
yeah,
it is a recurring theme throughout the run to just do that Hot Pursuit and do all the objectives.
Oh god, the chat saying, I think there might be another issue.
Another issue?
Is everything okay, or is something gone wrong?
No, it's looking fine on the stream.
Okay. Yeah, no, TK, I stream in 60 FPS. I always have. Well, not always have, but I recently have for like the last few months. Do you have my chat box open by any chance?
Yes I do.
Okay, if anyone comes into it, just give them the link and say I'm not reading it.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone shows up.
Yeah. I mean, I literally set the title.
Yeah, I know, but just in case anyone starts chatting, just say I'm not reading the chat there.
Yeah. I mean, it's going on your stream as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I only have the midwinter chat open. I don't have my one open.
Yeah, but your mic's still going on stream, so everybody knows.
Yeah.
Chat.
Hashtag blame Kuru. Yeah, when in doubt, blame Kuru. Alright, so we're gonna have to go and chase him since we didn't bust him. But he'll be low. Yeah, and we'll also stop by the the gas station and fill up our speed tech, or pursuit tech as well. Yeah, the Bugatti does look cool, but I don't think you don't really unlock it until sort of the end, really. It's quite a late game car, if not DLC, I don't remember. Before we used the Sesto, I used to use the CX-75 Jaguar prototype Enforcer, which was... It's slower than the Sesto, but it's still faster than a lot of the other cars. I just picked one of the first fast cars I could find that was DLC. And we, of course, we spawned right on the shock mine.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate series of events right there.
A very unfortunate event.
Yep.
Alright, so we took a risk there, ramming that guy because he had his ESF up, so that was quite risky. Because we could have had taken more damage than we actually did, and we could have not taken him out.
Yep.
But other than that, everything is still fine. Like, we're still... I keep forgetting that I'm using Shockwave, not ESF. I keep blowing it.
So since he only has to bust one racer now, he can just he doesn't really need to do anything. He doesn't need to try and bust, or he just needs to go to the next command post.
Yeah, so I just head to the command post. Now we go back to the Sesto. The beautiful Sesto. So in overall, there's 20 speed lists that we have to do for any percent. With the final one being the 0 hour speed list, and you'll know that we're on the final one. Sesto. And the pursuit tech is locked to each car, so I have to make sure I am picking the correct Sesto. Otherwise, I will have to repurchase all my speed point or my pursuit tech. No, I'm playing in single player mode. So that way we don't get interference from other players. Because I have noticed that if you're in all drive, you get a ton more speed points for doing events if you're in all drive. So to avoid that, we just play in single player mode or offline. But if you play offline, you can't use the DLC because EA thought it was a good idea to lock the DLC behind being connected to Origin.
Yep, I mean, it's EA, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this speed list is like, this is one of the few speed lists where, you know, we actually have to do other things than this one hot pursuit. Since we have to go on hot pursuit, which obviously we do this one, but you also have to, like, Lonne also has to go on interceptor. So we actually for once have to do something different. Aside from just, you know, completing objectives on this one hot pursuit.
Alright, so we bust that guy, we turn back around, and there's an interceptor that we did earlier for the second speed list, just down at the bottom of the hill. Don't want to deal with this guy, so we just leave the event. That car's gonna hit me.
Yeah. Before the deceptive event as well, you always want to have your siren off when you're driving to an event.
Otherwise it will initiate pursuits with other players.
Yep.
And they just get in the, or with other drivers, and they just get in the way.
Yeah.
So we ram this dude hard. We just try and we stay up close to him. If we can get him into like a wall or whatever, we can try and just bust him by being too close to him, which I have done. I believe in my PB run I was able to do it 3 times in a row. On the one of the second last speed list, which is we have to do 3 events on hard, or 3 hard difficulty events.
Yep. Another thing is, you notice that Lonne restarted the event there. Basically, instead of driving back to the command post from the intercept, he just restarted the event, then cancelled it. And since, you know, he already completed the objective, the restart brought him back closer to the command post.
I don't even actually start it. Like, I just, when I click restart event, it teleports me back to the start.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I can just back off, and then...
Yep.
It's just faster than driving.
Yep.
So here we get nitrous side slams, which is just side slams with nitrous. And pursuit tech, or racer tech hits. Because actually some of the speed lists actually are just specified tech hits, and they will actually count if you hit them on cops. Of course, it is slightly unethical to do it to other cops, but if it can be done, it will be done.
Yep.
We don't need morals in speedrunning. Who do you think we are?
It's all just a bunch of pixels.
Yeah. So we get the tech hit, we don't even need to finish the speed list, we can just turn around and go back.
If it needs to be done, it needs to be done. And if that's reading Wikipedia articles, then... okay. There's only like maybe like 3 people in the entire world who
Cops
understand
worried about ethics
just
just can't be said in the US. In fact, we'll upgrade to level 4 EMP as well. So we have the best ESF and best EMP we can get. So now this one we just have to get 100,000 speed points. Fastest way to do it is busts.
Yep.
Because provided we get
the
5 busts, we can just bust them faster. But since we're not guaranteed to get constant Heat 5 racers, we do this hot pursuit. We complete the hot pursuit, which gives us another 6,000 speed points for golding it, which does help decrease the grinding.
Yep.
Turn around and get that guy, which is actually a pretty sweet hit. And then bust him. That was actually really good. I have to give myself a pat on the back for that. That was actually really good. So we just bust him. And just slam into everyone else.
With Speedless is basically just
We're just farming.
It's just Farming Simulator 2018.
Oh, that was actually a good time because I hit the jammers literally after I got the EMP down, which was actually good timing. Or better yet, we lock onto him with our own EMP. Debated. We're actually at night time, which I've never actually really seen before, but it is quite nice looking.
So after the Speedless, there's another Speedless where we have to gain a lot of points. That Speedless is only 60k though. The other objectives are pretty simple to gain while doing that Speedless, so that next Speedless basically also as well just a point farming simulator.
Yeah.
So this part of the run is basically just farm points in the hot pursuit.
To be fair with you, I don't know the canonical reason for why we have to farm speed points. Maybe we're trying to pay off some corrupt cop or whatever with speed points. I don't know.
What is this, America?
Well, it's red. Well, it's implied that it's in America. So yes. Alright, so next, the speed list after this, we're actually shaking things up, believe it or not.
Yep.
In fact, we're doing it in this one as well. We have to get shock ram hit, so we have to get the shock ram pursuit tech, which is just, it's similar to ESF or shockwave. It's quite similar to shockwave, except it's just in front of the car, and it can hit multiple cars that are like right in front of each other, because it does sort of I would say it has sort of a sort of penetrative ability.
Yeah. Which means that if you can get like bunch of cars aligned in front of you, like side by side, that can deal massive amounts of damage. So that is like the optimal use case. You have like 2 racers net side by side in front of you.
Yeah,
and
if you
use
can
a
get
shock ram and
multiple
it just
hits, then it does increase its effectiveness.
It's like an AoE spell if you get me.
Yeah.
It's like an area of effect.
So just to guarantee he gets busted, we use the ESF, restart.
Yep. And it fits well with the rear ramming, since here you have to ram to activate the
ESF, yeah.
Yep. The shock ram, the shock ram.
No, shock ram is just I just use it. It fires out a blast from front of my car. But
yeah, but since it fires it in front, it also means you probably are about to rear ram them. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. To be fair, that is a good point. So it does.
So it all fits nicely together.
Ram. Oh, he didn't take the shortcut.
Again, as a sort of like game-spanning note, any Need for Speed, like all the most Need for Speed, most speedruns for Need for Speed games are a large part reading the AI.
Yeah.
Because if you can predict the more you play, the more you start to predict where the AI is going, and it is especially important in AI-heavy categories, like this, like Rivals, for example.
Yeah, Cop any percent in games like Rivals and Hot Pursuit 2010 are pretty RNG dependent.
Yes.
So now we have to get spike strips as well. So we replace the shock ram with spike strips. We also have to get ESF hits, but we already have that equipped. We do the Hot Pursuit. Now the spike strip hits are really sort of iffy to try and get done, but they can be done. In fact, I've had multiple times where I've just deployed the spike strip and some other random racer just goes over it without even noticing. So we try and just sort of line up with them, get good distance. There we actually got a double hit with the spike strip. That's actually really good. I think I just got shock slammed. But that was actually a really good EMP hit. Alright, so we busted him, we turn around, go down to the interceptor.
Yeah, I believe the Hot Pursuit you cannot do the restart event trick because the Hot Pursuit... what was it? I forgot.
It's
Why can't you do the restart trick on Hot Pursuit?
No, you can. But the reason I don't do it after that one is because I need to do the interceptor. And it would just be faster to just drive to the interceptor from where I finish.
Ah, yeah, right, because the I forgot, because the Hot Pursuit cutscene is very long. I forgot.
Although we'll need to come back to the Hot Pursuit for the speed points farming, because we need to do a little bit of that.
Yep.
There, so he's down. I think he actually busted himself. Oh no, in fact, actually might have been one of the AI cops that took him out with an EMP.
Yeah.
Do I think I'll get it? Get what? The record? Possibly. Although I'll need to retime the run afterwards if I do.
Yeah.
So basically, I need to beat your run by like a minute at least, and I'll be fine, probably.
Actually, since you weren't local, what did you start local recording at some point or no?
No, I have not been local recording.
Oh, so yeah, it would be not possible since you know the video has a gap. It's unfortunate. But
So that means I just have to try harder.
yep.
Just do a JV and be like, I have
That
the
was
record, but I
oh
can't
yeah,
show the record.
I forgot I'm on 6 seconds of delay. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, I cannot really provide any like direct live commentary right now because of the RTMP server issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. That was actually a really good hit. I mean, there's nothing saying I can't beat the time, but I can't submit the time. Which is unfortunate.
Yep.
So we switch back to the EMP, and then we just do this interceptor 3 times. Again. Ram him with the ESF, and that does tons of damage to him.
Yep.
Oh, I was hoping to be able to bust him, but no, he was able to break free.
Yeah, I think the best course of action there would have been to just come to a stop still, because I believe he got through because you pushed him outside of the inner wall of the corner.
Maybe, yeah. But whatever, we're able to take him down with these.
Yep, whatever. It was still a pretty fast burst.
That was again a pretty fast bust, actually. Getting pretty fast busts, actually.
Yeah. So this speedless is kind of like a break from the hot pursuits you have to do all the time, since you don't actually have to do any hot pursuits for this one. It's just just do this interceptor a few times.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the next speed list, well, you have to do 2 interceptors for the next speed list. But you also have to earn 100,000 speed points. So yeah, I guess pursuit.
Yep. For maximum efficiency, I will do the interceptors before I do the speed points farming, so that way the speed points I get from that also does count. It's just more efficient. Oh, come on. He's got no health, so just EMP him, just to guarantee the kill. That dude's trying to do his turbo, but we denied him of that. Alright, so restart the hot pursuit. Go for the ram, do a bunch of damage to him, go for the kill, just hit him a bunch more times. Oh, I accidentally blew the EMP, or the ESF on that car. Because it doesn't, if you hit a car, it will trigger the ESF. It doesn't matter if it's a busted racer, a cop, or even a civilian vehicle. Got that. Just need to bust this guy. If I can bust him, please, thanks. There we go. I'll turn around, refill my speed point, or refill my pursuit tech. Go down and go do the interceptor. And then finish the speed.
Yeah, the gas station fills up your pursuit tag again, though, so you always want to make sure, like, when you're farming speed points on the hot pursuits, just make sure you drive past the gas station.
Okay, we hit him so hard, he actually had to the game actually had to force respawn him. Because if you fall out of bounds, the game has to force respawn you.
Yeah, there's no like auto boss or something. It's just you go out of bounds. It's just insta respawn.
Yeah. Because
Which
the
I guess
game doesn't really know.
sense.
The game doesn't really know what to do with the fact that you've gone out of bounds. So the game just respawns you. No questions asked.
Yep. Even though it would make sense if you're, chasing a race and he goes out of bounds. Well, who would have hit him out of bounds? Who would do such a thing?
It would have been interesting if out of bounds was just insta-bust.
Yeah, that would obviously add some interesting mechanics to Interceptor, because Interceptor wouldn't become, just ramming him, but Interceptor would be waiting for that one corner and then hoping you ram him off.
Yeah, and just sort of, just pushing him out of bounds.
Yep. And it would obviously save, I believe it's like, probably save like 10 to 15 seconds every Interceptor.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so this one's just more of the same, really.
Yep. It's more speed point for ramming, more Interceptors.
Although the next two speed lists, we do actually change things up.
Yep, because for the last two speed lists, we have to do
different events.
Yep, different events. We have to do events classified as hard, which it doesn't actually mean, it's just a classification, but they're not
it's
really
like
hard. It's just
it means it's like a harder difficulty, but it's
yeah,
not really a harder difficulty.
Yeah.
But for hot pursuits and that, harder difficulties means more racers, which I'll give them that. But that means they're longer, because that means you got more stuff to bust.
Yeah.
So in other words, just doing we just do a hard interceptor because it's still just one car.
Yep.
Okay, restart. It was a good hit, wasn't it? Yeah. Also, when it just says tech hit, it actually just means hit something. I have hit other cop cars before, and it does count, which is a bit weird.
Again, it's just a bunch of pixels.
Yeah. Like, the wording is just, they don't word it very well, nor is it programmed very well.
That is basically every EA game, though, so joke's on us.
Yep.
Yeah. EA games, especially black box games in particular, Like this, I believe this isn't.
No, this is Ghost.
Was it a black box game? I forgot.
No, this is Ghost Games.
Oh yeah, Ghost
Black
game,
Box's
right?
last
Because
one was The Run.
oh yeah, the Run was a black box game.
Yeah,
right?
that was their
I
last,
forgot.
the last black box game.
Yeah.
Then they
But in
poofed.
yeah. In general, Need for Speeds tend to be broken, and black box games tend to be very terribly broken. See Carbon for a good example of what happens when you have a lot of people working on. Yeah. Well, Undercover isn't that broken.
Well, Undercover's not broken. It's just terrible.
I can't disagree with that. I cannot disagree with that. Aside from, the handbrake boosting, that's kind of fun. But yeah, there's a lot of just these like quirks in Need for Speed games where you do this ambiguity or something does something it's not really meant to do.
Yeah, the game, most of the time the game just doesn't know what to do.
Yep. And in black box games, that usually means very interesting things for speedrunning.
Although, to give Ghost Games credit, their games are actually surprisingly stable when it comes to glitches. Like, Rivals doesn't really have any glitches, 15 doesn't have any glitches, Payback doesn't have any glitches.
The only sort of modern black box game, the Run crashes all the time.
Yeah, but to be fair, the Run was just a terrible PC port.
Yeah. It's actually to the point where game crashes have become like a thing that people count during runs.
Oh yeah, they expect it.
Yeah.
This guy's
of runs of Run. That is totally not an overdone joke in the NFS community.
Oh yeah, we beat that dead horse so hard it's probably it's probably just mutilated at this point.
Yeah. Yep. Then again, you could say that you hate this game so much it became your rival. Haha.
Well, I actually like this game though. That's the sad part. I actually like this game.
I tried to make a pun that's intentionally terrible. Lonne is getting a little bit unfortunate with forced busts there, like they're escaping before he can actually bust them.
They're getting just out of range.
Yep.
So this one, just do hard events, just as we stated earlier.
Yep.
I have an interceptor that I just found that was hard difficulty, and I've been rolling with it ever since. I don't know if what Hate Fever uses specifically. He could probably tell you, or at least tell you the German version, at least.
Oh yeah, I believe Hate Fever runs.
Yeah, Hate Fever runs the game in German. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is no problem. I still understand what most of the stuff means. And he did a U-turn. That's not common. He did 2 U-turns actually. What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with this guy?
Yeah. I believe in terms of like regional difference, there isn't much for the Need for Speed games.
No, just language.
Yeah. Yeah. The older black box games, in particular, with their FMV cutscenes, only have the FMVs translated. Like the movies are actually raw movies with like the audio built in. So there are like they have like all the like NIS stuff, and like all the translations are in the games, and you can actually change registry settings to make these things like whatever language, right? But the movies will still be that language.
I thought for Most Wanted you could actually get the movies in different languages.
A what?
For Most Wanted, I thought the movies were in. You could change the movie language. Because I'm pretty sure I saw. I'm pretty sure I saw it was Most Wanted with the cutscenes in Japanese.
Yeah, the movies are translated, but when you the movies on the disc file, right, on the game files, they're raw.
Yeah.
So you can, like, if you just have a copy of the game in German, you can change it to English, but the movies are still gonna be German. So, yeah. So we are speaking of like regional differences. We haven't found any we haven't found anything in terms of like regional differences yet for any Need for Speed.
That would be useful.
But,
there
yeah.
were rumors for like Carbon and that there was like there was like a secret like early
but wasn't
like Spanish
a
build
regional difference, but it was more like an early version of the game.
These drivers are genuinely acting terrible, and I have.
Yeah, I believe for Most Wanted there was also like a database file that unlocked everything up to a certain part of the game. So these were probably just leaked debug files that old developers shared with people, and then it just got thrown around the internet.
You probably change your language in Origin settings, probably.
Oh yeah, you can do that for the newer Need for Speeds, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because I believe not many of the. I don't even know if any of the newer NFS have like actual true full video cutscenes like the Black Box games.
15 does, to an extent. 15 has those really cringy ones, you know?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. But most of the cutscenes in the new Need for Speeds are just they're just in-game cutscenes.
Like pre-rendered.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense, because if you already have a game engine, right? If you already have the engine available and you can just record motion data, then that's obviously a space saver.
Yeah. Maybe I'm not 100% familiar, but maybe when you install the game, you can choose what language it installs in. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm not sure about that.
I think I had a problem with that with it was one of the Battlefield games on Origin. Like the game wouldn't open because the game thought I was in a different language than I actually was. It thought I was in like it said I meant to be in ENGB, so in British English. But it thought I was in like a different English or whatever and just wouldn't work. But that's just EA programming for you. They don't work. You bought the game on CD? Filthy. Alright, so we're on the final speed list now, which is 0 hour. And the event is just down here. Is this interceptor. And time will be coming up in about a minute, give or take. It is when the game fades to black after busting the final racer.
Yep.
This guy's special, he's Heat 10. I don't know if that actually makes a difference gameplay-wise, but he's Heat 10, so this means, not to mess about with him. But we are going to mess about with him anyway. Because we're a fancy looking cop in a Sesto, so let's go right ahead. I believe this in like the story. This is this guy's meant to be like Zephyr, which is some sort of like best racer in Redview County or something like that. And time, by the way. I know that was a bit sudden, but yeah, that's time.
And so that's Need for Speed Rivals Cop 80%.
Yep, that's Rivals Cop 80%. So we have a cutscene here. I don't know what the cutscene's about. I keep skipping it because I don't care. But I mean, we can watch it. Why not? I started the timer on time, but we had to pause the timer because I had issues. No, Hay Fever, my timer says 1:15:40. But yeah, there was technical difficulties. We had to pause the timer because we had to switch streaming services.
Yep.
But anyway, I think that cutscene is basically saying you got let go as a cop, and then you become the racer that you play as, and basically like the stories basically are separate, but they connect at the end or some crap like that. It's weird.
Yeah, like if you start at the racer, when you join the cop team, after if you start as the cop, you join the racers.
Yeah, it's weird like that.
It's like an interconnected thing.
But anyway, that was if we didn't have any unfortunate issues with the game, that would have actually been my PB by about 30 seconds, which is pretty hype.
Nice PB.
Yeah, PB, and then we're like 50 seconds away from the record.
Yeah.
So Hay Fever, I'm coming for you. You better expect it soon.
Yep. Yep.
Soon,
yeah, most of the like newer Need for Speeds, they don't have too much activity. So when somebody like Lonne, for example, when you put your mind to it, you put a month into it, and you have that spot. It's not like in Carbon where people have actually, like me, have actually spent like almost a year now optimizing the game. So yeah, if you want to pick up any Need for Speed,
I have put a decent amount of time into running the game. I've been running the game for almost a year, I think, like 8-9 months at this point. But yeah. I have taken a big break for like 3 months because not much activity was happening.
Yeah. But yeah, if you ever have like if you ever want to start like any sort of if you ever want to like speedrun any Need for Speed games, we do have a community Discord. Totally not chill, by the way, XD. But yeah, if you have any question about speedrunning any of the Need for Speed games or want to start yourself, here's a Discord link to our Need for Speed Run server. And we have a channel for every game, so if you want to start running a game, just that channel, ask for threats. Because for most games there aren't really like any centralized information yet. The only game I believe that has is games that have is Carbon the Most Wanted. Yeah. For all the others, just ask people around. We're always here to help. We're very open to new runners.
And when you beat the game, you also unlock the 1-to-1, which is extremely overpowered. Because as you can see, the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento has a top speed value of 8.3, whereas the 1-to-1 is 15. It is stupid overpowered. It's pretty much the strongest car in the game, but you only unlock it at the end, so we don't use it. But anyway, yeah, that was NFS Rivals. Thanks to the Midwest guys for allowing us to run the Need for Speed games here, and I think we should be ready to move on to the next run anyway. So I'll just
I believe the next one is also still in the racing game block.
It is, yeah. It's Cruisin' USA by Linkameister.
Yep, enjoy that.